Okay, so the first best thing you can do with your website is to get new customers with it. The second best thing you can do is to use it to capture emails of your future customers. Those people who aren't ready yet, but who will be ready soon. So seriously, building your email list is no joke. We all need to be doing it for the future of our businesses now more than ever. And traditionally, you would use a lead magnet to offer in exchange for the email address. Think written guides, video series, cheat sheets, resource files, the list goes on and on. But what if your customers don't necessarily want more information about your industry? At least not badly enough to cough up their personal information for it. Well, I've got a brand new idea for you that doesn't rely on the traditional lead magnet and can get you all those valuable emails with a new tactic that combines the luck of Vegas with the fun of a game show, so your potential customers will have no choice but to take it for a spin. So what is this new way of getting email opt-ins that doesn't rely on writing PDFs or making complicated video trainings? It's actually a new spin on one of the oldest inventions in the world, the wheel. Specifically a spin to win wheel, which lets you put in several different offers and give your customers a chance to spin the wheel and try their luck, which is a very powerful trigger for people. Gamified opt-ins have been shown to improve 2 to 3% conversion rates up to 30% or more. So the way it works is you decide on a few special offers you can put on the wheel, along with some non-winning spaces as well if you want to. And the good news is, with most of the software programs that let you do this, you get to decide on the probability of winning any given prize. So you can add 1 or 2 really high value prizes to really entice those opt-ins and then just set them for a lower probability of winning those. People, of course, need to enter their email address to take a spin. So when would it be a good idea to use a spin to win wheel in place of a more traditional lead magnet? There are a few scenarios I can think of. First, if you just can't think of a topic for a lead magnet that your customers would really want to download, and this can happen if you're in an industry that people aren't really interested in learning more about. While I do believe that if you dig deep enough, there's almost always a piece of info that people would want, no matter how boring you think your niche is. But it's true that some niches are just sexier than others. If you're a wedding planner, brides are always after information and resources and sources of inspiration. If you're a dog trainer, people are dying to know how they can raise their puppy into a well-behaved dog. But this isn't always a layup for everyone in every kind of business. So if you can't think of anything else, a special offer is a good alternative, but just offering a coupon for an email address has its problems too. Most people still aren't ready to buy, so they assume when they are ready, they'll just come back and they can get your coupon then. But the problem is they're not likely to come back. And that's where the wheel helps. It combines the actual offer with something even more primal, that part of our lizard brains that just lights up when there are games and prizes on the line. When we as human beings see that there's a chance to win something, that's a pretty powerful motivator, and it's one that we don't necessarily want to hold out for. And the other scenario you might want to do this is maybe you just see the potential in all of that, and you want to try it to see if it might increase your opt-in rates from what you're getting with your current lead magnet. And in fact, this can actually work hand in hand with what you've already got. You can absolutely offer that lead magnet as one of the spaces on the wheel. So that brings us to our next point, which is what can you put on the wheel as your different offers? First of all, I like to come up with 3 or 4 things that will share the wheel space with a few dud spaces that aren't winners, just to keep things interesting. So you could consider adding a few different discounts, such as 20% off a certain service or a specific dollar amount off a different service, a free strategy session or consultation, a free introductory service or product, training materials, aka a more traditional lead magnet guide or video series. And this is optional, but I want you to consider a higher ticket item that you could put on there and set for only a 1 to 2% probability of winning it. Because adding that bigger prize will get more people interested in opting in, but you do have to be willing to deliver on it every now and then. And of course, if you're a retailer or an e-commerce website, you can add in things like free shipping or a free product. And I've even seen people offer something like an iPad or an Amazon gift card as a prize. Just be careful here that you're not getting people opting in who aren't really interested in what you do and are only opting in to win a gift card. That's why I prefer to offer only the things that you can personally provide them with. Okay, so let's talk about a few best practices that'll help you get as many opt-ins as possible. First, you want to feature it in a dedicated place on your landing pages, usually toward the bottom of the page, as well as putting it in a pop-up that's either set to appear after a time delay, or better yet, when someone, mouses back up toward the back button. Next, you want to make sure that you make the wheel your own. Don't just go with whatever software you're using's default colors. Put in a little time to reinforce your own branding and make it feel like it belongs on your site rather than it's just there as an afterthought. Because if it feels spammy or thrown together, people are going to be a lot less trustful and you're not going to get as many opt-ins. And I hate to say it, but you also want to be very careful about cheating. There are ways people can clear out their cookies and they can play the game over and over again until they win your big prize. So you want to make sure you choose a provider that has some kind of protection against that. And you might want to be crystal clear in your rules that people can play only once and they'll be disqualified if they play more than once. So when you link it up with your email provider, you want to have it tag people with what they won in your email list. So when someone wins, you can go in and see if they're tagged with more than one prize tag, in which case you wouldn't have to offer them the big prize because they're disqualified. So how do you actually get one of these spin to win wheels on your site? There are many options, basically falling into two main categories. The first being WordPress plugins that you can just buy outright, or there are even some for free. Or the second category are third-party software companies that you generally pay a monthly fee in order to use it on your website. And for those, you pretty much just add a simple line of code to your WordPress site, which is much easier than it sounds. They'll provide you with that quick step-by-step tutorial. But you want to look out for one that's going to integrate really seamlessly with your email service provider like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or Drip, so that when someone opts in, they automatically get put onto your email list. And if you want my recommendation, I think the one from Opt-in Monster is really strong, but if you Google spin to win plugin, you'll find a million options. But getting the email address is really just the beginning. So what happens after you've got a future customer's email address? How do you keep that relationship moving forward to the point where they actually want to work with you or buy from you? I've got you covered. I've got a video that's going to break it all down for you, showing how to create a successful email marketing campaign. And I made this especially for email newbies. So if you have no idea what you're doing yet, you'll be fully prepared by the end of this video right here. So click right there and I'll see you in a second.